How are we doing this?
Who just wants to let it out?
So James is teaching me about math in this video. Hey everybody, welcome to this month's episode of Swoosh Brings on His Friends to talk about fun things. Today we have the Odd Ones Out, the pioneer of school stories, okay?
Shut up.
When I was in 7th or 8th grade, I had a big crush on one of my classmates. And there was like maybe 10 kids.
I thought you were going to say teacher, and I was going to be like,
no, what is wrong with you? I had a crush on one of my classmates because there was only like 10 of us in our little private school in my class. One day we were watching some like documentary in history class, and I was sitting next to this girl that I liked, and I was like, I can't mess that up. But I did. I remember I like farted, and like she was like, did you just fart? And I was like, no, I didn't just fart. I remember like being like, no, that was my desk. And I literally started shaking
it. See?
Yeah, I started shaking my desk to like make a noise.
It wasn't the same sound.
No, of course it wasn't the same sound. And I think I was even like, see, it's the same, you know?
What lesson did we learn from that story, Swoosh?
Don't fart in front of women.
That's a good lesson.
They'll never
The
understand.
girls don't fart, so... Swoosh, can I ask you a question? Have you ever cheated?
Well, I'm perfect, so no, duh.
I had a class. It was a math class, and we had a lunch in the middle of that class. We would have these like big, long math tests, but they wouldn't split them up. So we would start the math test, go to lunch, and then finish the math test.
Oh my
And
gosh.
like,
So many opportunities to cheat.
what were you expecting? You know, like
Hide the answers in the burger.
we would do the test and then go to lunch, and then everyone in the class would like sit at a table just discussing the test. Just,
Oh my
how do you
gosh,
do
dude,
number
that's-
14?
that's
How do
so
you do number
dumb.
12? It was great.
No. That reminds me of something too. In our history class, we had this teacher who I mentioned in the teacher story. Great guy. His name was Mr. Mead. I had Mr. Mead in basically every year. It was like 7th to 11th grade we had Mr. Mead because it was a small private school. The highest I would get on the test would be like a 97. And I always wanted to get a 100 just for fun.
Just want a perfect record.
Exactly. So one day I came in, I was super prepared. I had everything in my brain. I was going to ace this test.
Do you
okay?
remember what the lesson was? Like, what was it about? Like, American history? Like,
No,
what-
dude,
like,
of course I don't. So I do the test, and then my friend behind me is like, dude, Susan is cheating. And I was like, what? What? My test is almost done. I look over, and Susan, she had a bunch of index cards with the answers, and I was like, Susan. And like, Mr. Mead saw me and my friend talking about it, and he was like, will you boys stop talking? And I was like, I'm sorry, Mr. Mead. I get my test back, and I got a 95. And I go, huh? And it says -5 for talking. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And then that is when I was like, Mr. Mead, Susan was cheating, and that's why I was talking. I didn't cry, but you know.
Yeah, but you tattletaled a little
Well,
bit.
dude, I wanted a perfect
You
score,
wanted the perfect
man.
100. You never got that perfect 100?
Nope, I
That
never.
perfect
Dude,
hundo?
literally, for the rest of high school, I never got a 100 on one of these tests.
Wow.
This is like a weird topic, but one thing I
Yeah.
learned to hate